when they are delivered at scale, it's going to have an impact on the world at a scale that no one understands yet.
What if I told you that one of the most powerful tech moguls in the world is terrified of AI? So much so that his interview about it got banned. What if the man who helped shape the future of technology now believes it could lead to our downfall? Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google and a pivotal figure in the rise of artificial intelligence, recently sounded the alarm about the dangers lurking within the very technology he once championed. Before we dive deeper into why this interview was so provocative, only about 10% of you watching are subscribed. So if you enjoy this kind of content and want to stay updated, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Now, back to Schmidt. His interview, reportedly banned for being too provocative, dives deep into a future where AI could spiral out of control, posing existential risks to humanity. But why was this interview silenced? And what does Schmidt know that the rest of us don't? Eric Schmidt's background and credibility. Eric Schmidt is not just any tech executive. He's a titan in the industry, having played a monumental role in transforming Google from a search engine into a global tech powerhouse. As Google's CEO from 2001 to 2011, Schmidt oversaw the company's rapid expansion, including its advancements in artificial intelligence. His deep involvement in AI development, particularly through projects like Google Brain, gives him unparalleled insight into the technology's potential and its risks. Schmidt's warnings about AI aren't just speculative. They're rooted in his extensive experience and insider knowledge of the field. The controversial interview. In a recent interview, Eric Schmidt didn't hold back in expressing his concerns about the unchecked development of artificial intelligence. Conducted in a high-profile setting, this interview took a dark turn as Schmidt delved into the potential for AI to evolve beyond human control, raising alarms about its existential risks. His blunt warnings about AI's capacity to disrupt society and even threaten humanity made the conversation so provocative that it was allegedly banned. Schmidt's interview also touched on the geopolitical dimensions of AI, specifically highlighting China's advancements in the field.
Yes, sir.
In terms of national security or geopolitical interest, how do you think AI is going to play a role or competition with China as well?
So I was the chairman of an AI commission that sort of looked at this very carefully. And you can read it. It's about 752 pages. And I'll just summarize it by saying, we're ahead, we need to stay ahead, and we need lots of money to do so. Our customers were the Senate and the House. And out of that came the CHIPS Act and a lot of other stuff like that. A rough scenario is that if you assume the frontier models drive forward and a few of the open source models, it's likely that a very small number of countries can play this game. What are those countries, or who are they? Countries with a lot of money and a lot of talent, strong educational systems, and a willingness to win. The US is one of them. China's another one. How many others are there?
Are there any others?
I don't know, maybe. But certainly in your lifetimes, the battle between the US and China for knowledge supremacy is going to be the big fight, right? So the US government banned essentially the NVIDIA chips, although they weren't allowed to say that was what they were doing, but they actually did that into China. They have about a 10-year chip advantage. We have a roughly 10-year chip advantage in terms of sub-DUV, that is sub-5 nanometer
10 years, that long?
Roughly 10 years.
Wow.
And so you're going to have, so an example would be, today we're a couple of years ahead of China. My guess is we'll get a few more years ahead of China, and the Chinese are whopping mad about this. It's like hugely upset about it. So that's a big deal. That was a decision made by the Trump administration and furthered by the Biden administration.
The conversation touched on sensitive topics, including the possibility of AI being weaponized or manipulated for malicious purposes, which could have driven the decision to suppress the interview.
Good. Well, let's talk about a real war that's going on. I know that something you've been very involved in is the Ukraine war, and in particular, I don't know how much you can talk about White Stork and your goal of having $500 drones destroy $5 million tanks. So how's that changing warfare?
So I worked for the Secretary of Defense for 7 years and tried to change the way we run our military. I'm not a particularly big fan of the military, but it's very expensive, and I wanted to see if I could be helpful. and I think, in my view, I largely failed. They gave me a medal, so they must give medals to failure or whatever. But my self-criticism was nothing has really changed. And the system in America is not going to lead to real innovation. So watching the Russians use tanks to destroy apartment buildings with little old ladies and kids just drove me crazy. So I decided to work on a company with your friend Sebastian Thrun, and as a former faculty member here, and a whole bunch of Stanford people. And the idea basically is to do two things: use AI in complicated, powerful ways for these essentially robotic war. And the second one is to lower the cost of the robots. Now you sit there and you go, why would a good liberal like me do that? And the answer is that the whole theory of armies is tanks, artillery, and mortar, and we can eliminate all of them. And we can make the penalty for invading a country, at least by land, essentially be impossible. It should eliminate the kind of land battles.
Well, this is a really interesting question, is that does it give more of an advantage to defense versus offense? Can you even make that distinction?
Because I've been doing this for the last year, I've learned a lot about war that I really did not want to know. And one of the things to know about war is that the offense always has the advantage because you can always overwhelm the defensive systems.
The banning of Schmidt's interview raises critical questions about the role of information control in the tech industry and the balance between innovation and safety. It also underscores the importance of public discourse around AI, as Schmidt's insights, while unsettling, bring to light the urgent need for global collaboration and robust regulations to prevent AI from becoming an existential threat. Eric Schmidt has sounded alarms about the potential dangers of artificial intelligence, AI, if left unchecked. He has fervently advocated for stringent regulations and oversight to mitigate the risks associated with AI development and deployment. Schmidt's call for regulation stems from a deep understanding of AI's rapid advancement and its far-reaching implications. He draws parallels between AI and other technologies that have historically required strict control. For instance, the development of nuclear power, while offering immense potential, also pose significant risks. Ethical concerns about the development of AI weapons systems are also prevalent. While Schmidt might argue that such weapons are necessary for global security, many viewers emphasize the importance of human control over AI systems, particularly in the context of warfare. The debate highlights the significant divide in public opinion regarding the ethical implications of AI-powered warfare. What can be done? The controversy surrounding Eric Schmidt's interview underscores the urgent need for open dialogue and informed action regarding the development and deployment of artificial intelligence, AI. As individuals and as a society, we must actively engage in discussions about the potential risks and benefits of AI to ensure its safe and responsible use. Policymakers and tech leaders bear a significant responsibility in shaping the future of AI. They must work together to establish comprehensive regulations and international agreements that govern AI development and deployment. These regulations should prioritize safety, transparency, and accountability, ensuring that AI is used for the benefit of humanity rather than causing harm. Individuals can also play a crucial role in promoting responsible AI development. By staying informed about AI advancements and their potential implications, we can become effective advocates for ethical AI practices. Schmidt's warnings serve as a stark reminder of the immense power and potential dangers of AI. His interview highlights the critical importance of responsible development and deployment of AI technologies. While the specific details of his predictions may be debated, the underlying message is clear. AI is a double-edged sword that requires careful consideration and proactive measures to ensure its benefits outweigh the risks. As we continue to advance AI, it is crucial that we remain vigilant and engaged in discussions about its ethical implications and potential dangers. By sharing our thoughts and perspectives, we can contribute to a more informed and responsible approach to AI development. What are your thoughts on Schmidt's warnings and the future of AI? Let us know in the comments, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated.